我带了，我带了。Dengue not here. Dengue is home area.
You never know because it's very light. And I
That's it. More possible to have. They need to push it around. Get out of yeah. Come on.
No budget. You're sure you want to?
这手机手是那当时出来的地方。
Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you all for coming. We are going to start the program proper at 7:30. But in the meantime, we have a table here for people who want to make placards. And then there's also a banner that we're going to unroll so that you can sign or write whatever message that you like on it. So just feel free to find a good spot, and then you can look at some of the placards that were made during the previous protests here this month. And then we'll all start our performances and speeches at 7:30. Thank you.
Check. Yeah, now is it? The drummers. Yeah.
Yo.
Can you bring it down a bit? The mic?
Bring the gain down for the mic. Yeah. Yo.
Mother sits and looks to God as she's praying while her hangman twists the news he's constantly making. On the cold concrete, my man solemnly waiting. Another story of hunger, getting crushed in the pavement. The big boys send the media statements. They maintain the status quo for protecting the nation. I don't get why they're killing those who truly need saving. Say the cost is on them, but tell me who really paying. Yeah. Yo, I just gotta say, killing in the name of peace is no peace at all. Just look at all the skeletons need the floor. Families beg the president to heed the calls. The cries of help ignored while they reap rewards, yeah.
I'm not sure how to spell it.
tomorrow comes. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in my crusade? Who will be strong and stand beyond the barricade? Is there a world you want to see? Then join in the fight that will give you the right to be free. Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. There is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Is someone doing a sound check for us? Is that all right? Can you guys hear us all right? Can the ukulele be heard? Just check that the ukulele. Yeah, we will just check the ook is amplified. Just check the sound guys, if the ook is amplified.
Yeah.
Bro, go.
Yeah,
The Ukulele, that's us. Welcome to the Ukulele Social Club. The ukuleles, I'm Lim, and with the ukuleles, we're the ukuleles. Right. Singing, telling stories with our ukuleles. Tuning your heart. This is our paradise, our paradise. Welcome to the Ukulele Social Club. This is our paradise, our elderly home. So for our volume, it should be closer like this. Like this.
Okay.
Hi everybody. Hi. Want to make sure that you guys can hear us. My name is Neo Swee Lin.
Yeah, I'm Lim K. Siu. Hi there.
So with our ukuleles, we call ourselves the Neo
Ukulele-lims.
and today we are here because we believe in the abolishment of the death penalty.
You are like
And we want to.
There's an aeroplane.
So we want to stand in solidarity with Nagendran and his family tonight as well, which is Dutch. Yeah. So among the songs that we will sing, I don't know if you guys have seen the video. We hope that you will sing along with us. Yeah, there are some original compositions, but also some songs that we have adapted.
There's a song called Now is the Time that we both wrote while walking around in Bukit Batok. Now is the time to fight the good fight. Now is the time to fight for what is right.
I want to be a better girl. I want to make a better world.
Make it better all together. I want to be a better man. I want to make a peaceful stand. No more greed. Love is all we need. Now is the time to really see. Now is the time to be free. It's time to show compassion, please. Temper justice with mercy. We are all human beings. Show love and empathy. We live in a Disneyland with the death penalty at hand. It's time to change our stance. We all deserve a second chance. Now is the time to fight the good fight. Now is the time to fight for what is right. Sing along, now is the time. Now is the time to fight the good fight. To fight the good fight. Now is the time. Now is the time to fight for what right. To fight for what is right. To fight for what is right. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, the next song is from Les Mis. We did it in the sound check earlier, so sing along with us. Do you hear the people sing?
Singing the song of angry men. It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes.
Will you give all you can give so that our banner may advance? Some may fall and some will live. We all deserve a second chance. So join in the fight that give you the right to be free.
Do you hear the people sing? Singing the song of angry men. It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Come on! Do you hear the people sing? Singing the song of angry men. It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drum, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes.
Will you join in my crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Beyond the barricades, is there a world you long to see? Then join the fight that will give you the right to be free.
Do you hear the people sing? Singing the song of angry men.
life about to start when tomorrow comes. There is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. There is a life about to be taken when tomorrow comes.
Thank you.
Hey guys, the next song is called Digadunkan Zin Fry, and it means our thoughts are free. This song was taught to us by Teo So Lang, who was detained without trial back in 1987. She said she used to sing it when she was imprisoned without trial, and her jailers were like, hey, not bad, huh? You know this song, huh? Our thoughts are free.
Digadunkan Zin Fry, my thoughts freely flower. Digadunkan Zin Fry, my thoughts give me power. No scholar can map 'em, no hunter can trap 'em, no man can deny. Digadunkan Zin Fry, no man can deny. Digadunkan Zin Fry. We think as we please, and this gives us pleasure. Our conscience decrees this right we must treasure. Our thoughts will not cater to duke or dictator. No man can deny. Digadunkan Zin Fry, no man can deny. Digadunkan Zin Fry. And should tyrants take us and throw us in prison, our shores shall burst free like blossoms in season. Foundations may crumble and structures may tumble, but free men shall cry. Digadunkan Zin Fry, yes, free men shall cry. Digadunkan Zin Fry.
We shall overcome. Please sing along with us, everyone.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
We'll walk hand in hand.
We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart. Oh, deep in my heart. I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone. We are not alone someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
We are not afraid.
We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome.
Thanks to everybody for being here today. Thank you so much for keeping vigil for Nagen as well as for Dachina. We also want to say thank you. This song was written by him, and it's called Thank You for Taking My Hand and Sharing the Beautiful Things in Your Heart.
We'd like to thank you all with this song.
Thank you for taking my hand and sharing the beautiful things in your heart. Thank you for taking my hand and sharing the beautiful things in your heart. The beautiful things in your heart. The beautiful things in your heart. The beautiful things. The beautiful thing. You're beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you for taking my hand and sharing the beautiful things in your heart. Thank you for taking my hand and sharing the beautiful things in your heart. The beautiful things in your heart. The beautiful things in your heart. The beautiful things. You're beautiful thing. You're beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you for taking my hand and sharing the beautiful things in your heart.
Yes.
Do we have time? Should we sing more songs or how are we doing in terms of time? It's amazing to see such a nice turnout tonight. Thank you all for being here.
We'd like to sing another song called Together. It's a song I wrote a long time ago about the power of human beings being together with love. The things that we can achieve with love all together. It comes from our romantic love, and that our love will grow into a more universal love for everyone. I love that I talk like us in my head. I love that I stored all the things that we said. Let's talk sweet knees instead. We love to love to love to love to lie in bed together. Ooh, yeah, together. Ooh, yeah. You know that I love all the things that we share. Even the lies and admissions when we dare. I hope I can love you even after I'm dead. We love to love to love to love to hold hands and fly together. Let's play disguise together. We'll fly the skies really high. We love to love to love to love to even cry together. Boo-hoo, yeah, together. Boo-hoo, yeah. You loved me, love became real, a matter of fact, and not just a feeling. Hey baby, let's get out of bed and share our love with those around us instead. Together, ooh, yeah, together, ooh, yeah. Come on, let's all love life from the bottom of our hearts. Yeah. Come on, let's all love life.
Together we came tonight for a vigil holy part.
Together, together we can change the weather. Together,
Come on everybody, let's all love life.
we can make things better. We can even change the weather if we all just love life together. Let's treasure life together.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, everyone.
Discipline remains merciful.
And then now would you take this power?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here in solidarity. Dachna's family and Nagin's family are here. They're not able to enter the park. Can we please show them our love and support? They've come directly from a prison visit, and they're extremely emotionally and physically exhausted on every level, but they wanted to be here, and they wanted the people here to know that there are real families, real people behind all of these things that we often debate about in the abstract. So that's what they're here for, and they'll be here for a while. So can we give them another show of our love and solidarity, please? I'm going to invite Stephanie, who'll be sharing a Catholic prayer and message with us. Dachna is a Catholic. He converted in prison, and his faith means a lot to him. This prayer is for him.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie, and I'm here tonight as a show of solidarity with the family of Nagen and Dutch, and all who remain on death row. I'm here because I oppose the death penalty. The state must know that if it persists with this brutal, bloody practice, that there are many who deeply oppose and resist this. John Deere, an American Jesuit priest, has said, "Capital punishment can claim nothing to command it. It will not bring healing or justice or restitution. It offers no hope for a non-violent society. It reinforces the heart-rending cycle of violence. It lays the burden of yet another murder." When the organizers of today's event reached out and said they wanted people from different faith traditions to share verses and prayers, I agreed to participate. But I must admit, while I am a baptized Catholic, I am certainly not the scripture quoting type of Catholic. So the rest of what I have to share are borrowed words, including some from a Catholic priest that I reached out to on Friday who kindly sent me a short prayer and Catholic teachings. The Catholic Church, in its constant teaching through the ages, has insisted that every human life is sacred and that each person has a supreme dignity. This dignity is not lost even if or after a person has committed a crime. Every person is loved unconditionally by God. The Church teaches, in the light of the Gospel, that the death penalty is inadmissible because it is an attack on the inviolability and dignity of the person, and she makes the abolition of the death penalty, and she works for the determination of its abolition worldwide. Pope Francis has said that nobody can be deprived of life or the hope of redemption or reconciliation. Here is a shortened version of the prayer sent to me by the priest who prefers not to be named, but whom I thank thee in my heart. Let us pray. Dear God, we lift up to you our brothers, Nagen, Nagen, their families, and our nation. May our society and every nation in the world grow to protect more and more each human life and seek to develop humane and non-violent means to protect our communities, especially the vulnerable and the weak. May we all grow to grasp and understand in faith that redemption is possible for all people. Amen. I end with the words of Shane Claiborne, a Christian social activist who advocates for non-violence and who has written a book on the death penalty titled Executing Grace. It is not that the law has no meaning, it's just that grace has the last word. Grace makes room for redemption. Grace offers us a vision for justice that is restorative and dedicated to healing the wounds of injustice. When we receive the gift of grace, it should transform us into grace-filled people who want to see other people given a chance and other people loved back to life again. Grace gets the last word. Thank you.
So today, during their prison visit with Dachna, the family mentioned that there was a vigil that's being held for him in Nagen. And in a hurry, he wrote some words to give to them, to share with everyone today. So I'm going to read that out now. The Singapore government claims that the drugs brought into Singapore by Malaysian couriers can feed hundreds of drug addicts in a week. This shows the damage and harm that these drugs can bring to the people of Singapore. This is a justification by the Singapore government to kill Malaysian drug couriers by imposing the death sentence, by talking about the harms to the people of Singapore. In other words, it's like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But many Malaysian couriers, they don't know anything about drugs and they're not heroin consumers. They're not aware of the damage that it can bring to the people of Singapore. It's not their intention to bring such harm or damage. Their intention is only to deliver some package given to them from point A to point B, just to receive some sum of money in return to use for very difficult circumstances or situations they are facing. This is certainly wrong, but these drug couriers must be punished only for the intention of delivery or transport of the drugs. But they are being punished for bringing harm to Singapore people, which is not their intention at all. 20 years imprisonment or life imprisonment is already a heavy punishment. But the death sentence for merely delivering or transporting is not fair and is inhumane. It is an overkill. Does everyone have your chant sheet with you? Yeah? Please share if you don't have enough. So we're going to start with some of the chants here. So the first one is, I say justice for Nagendran, and you say justice, justice. Okay? Let's try this. Justice for Nagendran. Justice for Nagendran. Justice for Dachina. Justice for Dachina. The second one, I say what do we want, and you say justice. I say when do we want it, you say now. And then we do the same thing with freedom. Okay? Let's try that. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Freedom. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? I'm just going to say a few words in Tamil because the families are Tamil speaking. அம்மா இங்க வந்திருக்கிறவங்க இன்னைக்கு எல்லாருமே உங்களுக்காக தான் வந்திருக்காங்க. நாகின்காக வந்திருக்காங்க, தட்சணாக்காக வந்திருக்காங்க. இந்த நாட்டில் அரசாங்கம் எவ்வளோ அநியாயம் பண்ணாலும் இந்த மக்கள் அதை ஏற்றுக்கலங்கிறதுக்காக வந்து காட்டுறாங்க. கடைசி வரைக்கும் நாகேனியும் தட்சிணாவையும் இல்லை டெத் ரோவில் உள்ள மற்ற பசங்களையும் நாங்கள் கைவிட மாட்டோம், எங்களால் முடிஞ்சதை பண்ணுவோம்னு சொல்கிறதுக்காக இவங்கள வந்திருக்காங்க. உங்கள் பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு நடக்கிறது, நம்ம பிள்ளைங்களை நம்ம கிட்ட இருந்து பறிச்சுக்கிறது சரியில்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறவங்க நிறைய பேர் இங்கே இருக்காங்க. இது அநியாயம்னு சொல்கிறவங்க நிறைய பேர் இங்கே இருக்காங்க. இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறவங்கள தவிர சிங்கப்பூரில் இன்னும் நிறைய பேர் உங்களுக்கு ஆதரவாக இருக்காங்க. இந்த நேரத்தில் இந்த ஆதரவுக்கான அர்த்தம் என்னன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. ஏன்னா நீங்கள் எதிர்கொள்கிற சூழ்நிலை அதுக்கான வலிக்குள்ள வார்த்தைகளே இல்லை. இருந்தாலும் எங்களால் முடிஞ்சது இன்னைக்குள்ள இந்த அர்ப்பணிப்பு உங்களுக்காக.
How are you all? Everyone okay? So, Koki told me there was going to be an event, and I wanted to write a song, a new one, for, Nagen and his family. And usually I don't have a problem writing songs, but I took the time, I put myself in his place, and for the first time in a long time, I had writer's block. I didn't know what to say, how to say it. And today morning, I was on YouTube, looking through instrumentals, and a few words came to mind. So this is for Nagen and his family. With the drumless one. Yeah. Yo. Mother sits and looks to God as she's praying, while the handman twists the news that he's constantly making. On the cold concrete, my man silently waiting. Another story of hope, getting crushed in the pavement. The big boys send media statements. They maintain the status quo for protecting the nation. I don't get why we killing those who really need saving. They say the cost is on them, but tell me who's really paying. Yeah, this war on drugs, it don't make no sense. Like wearing lead belts to swim the ocean. The main money maker sitting real nice and comfy. So in the line of fire, yo kin. But I ain't losing, brother. Far from the truth, the answer from the problem is not in the news, not in the cold prison blocks or the everyday walks, but the answer lays deep inside of you. So we ain't losing hope, we ain't losing hope. Put your peace signs up in the air. We ain't losing hope, I said we ain't losing hope. Put your peace signs up in the air, yeah. I said we ain't losing hope. We ain't losing hope, put your peace signs up in the air. Now we ain't losing hope, we ain't losing hope, put your peace signs up in the air if you really care. Thank you so much. Now this next track is called Article 3. So I'm not sure how right I am about Article 3 of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but it says, what does it say, Mr. Chow? Article 3 of the Human Rights Convention. Every person has the right to security and to life. And in this day and age, in this first world country, we are doing a third world act. We are doing such a barbaric act, and it doesn't sit well. So here's Article 3. Let's go. Yo. I just gotta say, killing in the name of peace is no peace at all. Just look at all the skeletons neath the floor. Families beg the president to heed the cause. The cries of help ignored while they reap rewards. The fruits of your labor trimmed with a sickle of death. The price of the safety is a nickel at best. Killing off a sick man to save on your checks. Barbaric and sick acts, they thumping their chest. These lives ain't lives, they just numbers on a sheet. He's a lamb to the slaughter, but everyone's a sheep when you blindly support a man. Violation of human rights, nothing to see. This man is trapped in ways that you will never be. That's why he's nothing to you except a felony. And that's the reason they still got this penalty. By taking life, you ain't different from the enemy. The lands are beautiful, the gallows are the centerpiece. The lives done taken will echo through the centuries. They threaten with death, but you call it a remedy? I taking life, you two are an accessory. I gotta say I'm losing faith in Lady Justice. Her blade and scale as a late, they be looking rusted. Not a question of right or wrong, but can I trust it? They'll take his life in the name of your safety. Ain't you disgusted? Thank you so much. I've been Opus Renegade, and let's hear it one time for TJC for hearing us all. Can we get a round of applause for TJC? Right? I'm gonna pass it off to the next performer. I've been Opus Renegade, and thank you all for coming down. Much love, y'all.
So I'm here to share again something from Dachna Nagen, and also Dachna's sister just asked me to share this with everyone, that many of the atrocities and suffering that goes on behind bars in Singapore are not known to Singaporeans, and that all of this pain, not just the death penalty, but all of the injustices and suffering that goes on behind bars is done in our name, but yet we don't have the right to see it. We don't fully understand the horrors of it. In their prison visits the last few days, the families have often shared with a lot of pain that even in these last few days, their sons are being treated in ways that are humiliating and dehumanizing to them. And that often when they go to see their sons, they tell them that they feel that everything is done to strip away their humanity and to provoke them. And when they can't take it anymore, they can't take the dehumanization and the injustices they suffer anymore, and they talk back, then they are sent to punishment cells. And this is something that the families are extremely distressed about as well, in addition to the severity and cruelty of the death penalty itself. So I'm going to read a letter that Dachna wrote in his words based on his conversations with Nagen, who cannot write in English. And these views represent the two of them in many ways. I'm thanking you from the bottom of my heart for all your support, efforts, and prayers. My heart was shattered to see you shed tears for a person as unworthy and undeserving as me. What more can I expect? To me, this is proof that God really exists, and He sends such good and kind people to show mercy and have compassion. I have seen and heard so many things in my darkest days in prison on death row, but nothing has changed for the good. One failure after another, the little that I have is gone now. Day after day, month after month has gone, and it has become years. What else can I hope? I'm totally exhausted. I'm a person that has been labeled as condemned and not in the least deserving of any mercy or pardon. I don't have any hate or complaints. I don't blame anyone. I'm not angry with anyone. It is my mistake, though I have many regrets. I accept everything as it comes. In fact, I'm very happy that at least God has created me with a little heart where I can say thanks from deep in my heart. I'm very grateful and appreciate all your support. At least I'm still able to express my gratitude to you through my words, writing, prayers, and tears. I wish for your happiness, joy, peace, and success in life. Created you and me, bless you and your family more and more. Grant you all your prayers and heart's desires. Peace be upon you. In my many years of suffering on death row, I've learned a very good lesson. Lessons that can't be learned anywhere else. But what good can those lessons do for me or others now? What is going to be changed, though I am changed now? If there is any good that will come to the society or public out of my punishment, execution after these 13 years of incarceration, then let it be done. But these 13 years of imprisonment is already such a punishment for me. Did anything good happen so far to the society or public from my punishment? Does anything improve or change? If it is only from my execution that it will deter crimes or be effective, if it is really relevant to Singapore, then let it be done. The drugs that I brought into Singapore, now I've come to understand that it can be fed to a certain number of addicts for certain periods of days in a week. This can really bring harm to the people of Singapore, especially the young generation. This can really damage or break many families and lives. Some may even overdose on drugs, lose their lives, and their loved ones grieve for them. Some may even cause harm to others, just to be able to get the money to buy and consume drugs. And people might do some serious things when they're high on drugs. I don't have all this knowledge at the time of my offense. None of this was my intention. When I was caught, I was only 20. I myself didn't take any drugs, and I wasn't involved in any drug-related activities or illicit activities. I'm not trying to justify my offense. I'm just stating the truth, and it is not to create sympathy. I'm just sharing this on behalf of others who've gone through the same experience, suffering, and pain like me. Yes, it's very painful, I have to admit. I've reached the end of the tunnel. This is a very terrible journey, which I've walked in darkness. There is no other pain that can cause me to feel more pain than this. I don't see any light coming my way, even a little light of candle from someone. That's okay. This is what I am today for what I did 13 years ago. I hope that all my past will leave here in this darkness of my life, and it will not come along with me to my next life, if there's any. There's a punishment for anyone who breaks the law. Let the law do its work. If I'm not deserving of a second chance or mercy, then let the second chance and mercy go to someone who really deserves it. Life is beautiful and good. Let good people get the chance to live their lives, and let the government give that opportunity to them by doing what the law says to do to protect the country. People deserve a safe and drug-free society for their families and children. And he ends with a rhyme. Let my story reflect my sorry. There's nothing more to worry. If I'm going to be buried, there are people to carry. There's left only one reason to be cheery. I am not married.
Give it another round for Kokila and for Death Row, for Nagen. Yeah, for everyone. So, hi everyone, thank you for coming tonight in solidarity and in love with those on the death row. My name is Loon. I protested at MOE in January 2021 with 4 friends without a permit against MOE's violence on generations of LGBTQIA+ students. And I don't ever believe that the state, laws, and capitalism can ever protect any of us, especially those on racial, gender, disabled margins. So tonight I'll be reading a poem in the form of a hitsu, which is a Japanese form composed of fragments written in a manner that follows the brush connected across a thread of themes. It explains all that I feel about the need to abolish the death penalty. So this poem is called Death Penalty for Cutie. Content warnings for death, misogyny, drugs, bodily harm, sexual plus domestic violence. I'll just give a few seconds in case anyone needs to block their ears or anything. So, death penalty for cutie. Solidarity on Facebook. Apparently, people get together to rehearse the scientific truth of law and order. Death to criminals, to the disenfranchised, to the margins. I thought, I wished how nice it would be to be able to relate to someone. But I cannot touch another's hand while they find safety in being faceless. Safety via misreading the violence done to all of us. 20 Sing dollars for a sci-fi book. Tens between its pages are use and exchange value, both past bound and future trapped. Southeast Asian studies retain both use and exchange value, like the post-colonial states of Asia. Someone traffics are quantified, numerical, definite, SGD per gram. Each life hung is both a blank and infinite value, but the cost, I tell you, the cost remains. I saw a tweeted reply. It's punishing someone who knew the consequences was likely for his crime. He deserves it. Yeah, like we deserve it all. For all our inherent darkness that is punishable. Like we deserve work that saps our lives. Like we deserve to fail, to have no shelter or place to drink. To be punished for the harshness and necessity of living while living. We don't deserve to speak to one another. We haven't spoken and seen a stranger's eyes, searching for textures and memories in their eyes for a while now. My hijabi sister explains to me how the Islamic clergy is conflated with divine justice, how morality is conflated with divine justice. I remember how there's no morality when I think of the strangers in my head. No ought or should, but the bare necessities that are scars, pigments, and marks. Relations between words onto knife, knife onto skin, rope around skin. But I do want her to be okay. In the UK, a friend of mine came down in COVID. Oh, kind stranger who I don't know, whose eyes I still need to see, just so I can tell the day or weather and to remember the material presence of a person. It was due time that my mother asked, shouldn't someone be punished, say this person raped your loved one? Well, I spent more time recalling than answering her. Thought experiment, hypothetical, but also loved one. But survivors are no hypotheticals. Neither is the continued violence of the police, which survivors also have relied on out of pure necessity and structure. Punishment and law is now a science, are cosmic facts of matter. Dark laws that have galaxies turn and which allow Singapore to be apparently safe. Science always sees hypotheticals based on their controls, the status quo of survivors, generations and generations of them. I couldn't shout or scream at her like I did at Hong Lim Park, voice hoarse from berating the state's own hypotheticals on drug enforcement, whispering. All I could do was to listen to the survivor. Let them call the police, since nothing else has replaced the police. There are all these signs and symbols and representations and images like danger, keep out, or please do not talk. Signs of this country, the country itself a sign for every hypothetical and real crisis, the impossible nation. But it was almost impossible to unlearn punitive justice, meritocracy, capitalism, the black and white symbol of Harry Lee Kuan Yew. But not today. Even with past erased, futures lost, not today. Today, I listen to not symbolize the life of a person, the life of people. History, scars, bodily habits, a long story. And people still ask me, how were you courageous in front of me, eyes glossy? Others ask, how come you aqua protest but not punished, locked up, beaten in prison? Thinking I don't hear their vow anonymity corroding the servers that hosted their comments. But I have the same answer to those people. My father beat me because girls were easy to bully. I don't remember what I did wrong, just pain, flashing, breaking. Stop. Oh, I see on the roadside little minors and gangs and their incomprehensible gang songs. Not even we can form independent groups like you. And payment and cost are the difference. But let me be like you, let us be like you, more like a fair price supermarket trolley outside the bounds of fair price, if it means that change has arrived and change is not stubborn in the closet. The red lightning has struck once. The winds will not allow it to harm once more. Some nights are for seizing. for storming where appropriate. Some nights, the eyes of another stranger so close. Abolish the death penalty. Thank you, everyone. And I will get the next performer. Please give them your full support. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Nyak. And like all of you, on this Monday evening, I'm here for Nagen and Dutch, their families, and others on death row. Before top 10 lists were popular, there's one ancient one that says, "Thou shalt not kill." There isn't any exceptions in that list to those instructions. Every life is sacred. The measure of where we are as a society is not measured by how we is measured, by how we treat the most vulnerable in our society. The measure of how civil we are lies in how we treat those who have broken the law. Kudos to all the work that TJC has been doing. The success of a justice system is not measured by how many people are caught and punished and executed, but how they are rehabilitated and how things are restored. It is not about punitive justice, but restorative justice. But today, I do not want to focus on justice, but on mercy. While we often view how advanced we are as a society, on how educated we are, our technological advancement, our GDP, I wonder if a more appropriate measure may be how human, how humane we are. What if the matters of our hearts are as important as the matter of the mind? So put aside all the arguments for and against the death penalty, and for a moment, be human. Feel the connection between parent and child. Feel the connection between siblings. Feel the connection between friends. Feel the connection even between strangers. I would say I don't know Nagen or Dutch. I haven't met their families. I'm a stranger to them. Yet their lives, I feel something. In this constellation of relationships, this is about being human. We're all interconnected. Not in our name, at least not in mine. It is given that we connect with those we're related to. So all of you here tonight, on this wet, well, not so wet, thank goodness, evening, you care for them. Nagen asked Koki for prayer, and you're all here. You've demonstrated something more. You showed what we could be. You're here regardless of your race, your religion, and you may be even agnostic or atheist. And for those who are not here at Hong Lim Park right now, who may be listening sometime later, even if you are against the death penalty, I invite you to think about mercy. Can we as a society show mercy? Offer Nagen and Dutch another chance? I'm against cancel culture. And to me, the death penalty is the ultimate form of cancel culture, because there's no chance after that. Can we ask ourselves, who do we want to be? What kind of Singapore do we want? Can we be less vengeful, less retributive, less angry when someone does something wrong, and go into as a mob to cancel people? Can we become more compassionate, more merciful, more human? Yes, even for those who support the death penalty, you can be merciful. Abraham Lincoln says, I have found that mercy bears richer fruits than justice. Justice without mercy is cruelty. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. So I plead for those who can do something about it. Our president, plea for mercy, for clemency, for Dutch and Nagen. May we become something different. May we be a more loving, compassionate, and merciful society. May it be so.
Can we give it up one more time? Wonderful speech. That was some beautiful, moving words. Hi everybody, my name is Jag. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. It's a wonderful crowd. And everybody else watching from home. Thank you. We're all here for the same reason, and that's a wonderful thing. I'll be singing a few songs tonight. Couple originals, but I'll start with a cover that I found out. Close both blinds and turn away. Sometimes solutions aren't so simple. Sometimes goodbye's the only way. And the sun will set for you. Sun will set for you. And the shadow of the day will embrace the world in rain. Sun will set for you. Cards and flowers on your window. you, and the shadow of the day will embrace the world in gray, and the sun will set for you, and the shadow of the day will embrace the world in gray, and the sun will set for you, and the sun will set for you, and the sun will set for you. This one's an original song. It's about memories of our childhood, the innocent days, family. It's called Lotado. बचपन के दिन, ख्वाबों के दिन, ठंडी सुबह और वो समा, लौटा दो मुझे वो बचपन के दिन, ख्वाबों के दिन, ठंडी सुबह वो समा, वो पापा का दिल से गया, आंखें रूठी हुई मम्मी को मनाना, फिर मुझे ढेर सारा प्यार करना, सोने से पहले कहानी सुनाना, लौटा दो मुझे वो बचपन के दिन, ख्वाबों के दिन, ठंडी सुबह और वो समा, कितने प्यारे थे वो बचपन के दिन, जब जी लेते थे चिंता के बिन, कब मिलेंगी उन यादों से फिर कभी, वो मस्ती भरे दिन सभी, टूटी वक्त की टहनियाँ बदले बिगड़े हर जगह राहें पूछती मंजिल कहाँ तेरी वो लापरवाहियाँ फिक्री में डूबी दासता कांटे राहों पर जाऊं कहाँ लौटा मुझको वहाँ ना जी पाऊं यहाँ वो बचपन का झूला ना बुला लौटा मुझको वहाँ वो मस्ती भरा समा मासूमियत का जहाँ कर दे अचा बचपन के दिन ख्वाबों के दिन ठंडी सी बाहों से लौटा दो मुझे वो बचपन के दिन ख्वाबों के दिन ठंडी सी बाहों से Thank you. If I may, I'd like to turn this solemn atmosphere to something a bit more active. If you'd all humor me in standing up for this next song, I'd love to sing along with all of you for this. This one's called Home. Thank you. We've been blessed with some good weather tonight, huh? Almost rain. I need your participation for this, yeah? I'm sorry we heard everything that we learned has gone to waste. This home you gave to us, we spoiled in lust and then ran away. And Ma, we live in your love, sent from above. I'm sorry we strayed. Your love is all that we need, not all this greed. Just take it away. No, 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 no. This is my home. No, 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 no. before that, if we may, let us close our eyes for a second. Let us pray for the souls of those taken before us and the ones that we're here for today. Let us pray for a more compassionate society, more loving, more caring, more kind. Let us pray for mercy, for courage, for bravery, for Nagen and Beth. Let us hope for rehabilitation, for education, instead of just retribution. But for now, sing along with me. You can't save me, but I could save you if I really wanted to. Sing along. You can't save me, but I could save you if I really wanted to. Come on. You can't save me, but I could save you if I really wanted to. Come on. You can't save me, but I could save you if I really wanted to. Keep it going. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is my home. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is my home. Let's go. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is my home. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is my home. Thank you very much, everyone. Once again, my name is Jag. I'm a singer-songwriter. If you'd like to check out my work, the latest song that I put up was about another voiceless class of people, the migrant workers. It's called Dance Kernia, and you can check it out on YouTube. Thank you once again, everyone. I appreciate it. Koki would like you all to keep standing.
We're here today at a vigil, and I think I thought for a while when we were organizing this, what is the mood? What are the feelings at a vigil? And I think I got my answer in the last few days that I've spent with the families. When confronting incredible injustice and pain, I think the human spirit responds in so many intense ways. There have been moments of intense anger with them, for them, moments of great devastation, and even moments of lightness. There are children in both families, and so they find a lot of lightness to keep them amused, to keep them feeling safe, regardless of everything that's happening. So the mood has so far been quite solemn, and I want to invite us to also remember that we are here in protest, to access our anger, because anger is an important part of grief. And let's do the next few chants, remembering our rage and connecting with our rage at this injustice. You're gonna do number 4. I say end poverty, you say not life. I say end racism, you say not life. And it goes on like that. End poverty. End racism. End oppression. End exploitation. End desperation. End poverty. End racism. End oppression. End exploitation. End desperation. We're going to do number 6 now. I say no more blood on our hands. And you repeat. No more blood on our hands. No more blood on our hands. No more blood on our hands. What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Freedom. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? We're going to do number 1 now. Justice for Nagendran. Justice for Dachina. Justice for Nagendran. Justice for Dachina. You can sit down now. Thank you. Dachina's mom is 60 years old. She hasn't eaten or slept today or in the last few days. She wants us to know that she's still here, standing outside the barricades, because she appreciates all the people here and your care for her son. There are some things she wants to say to Singaporeans. She says, awaken to the truth. This is a murderous state. These murders do not protect you. These are our children whom we've birthed from our bodies and they won't let us touch them. Don't let them do this in your name. As I was saying earlier, there are children in both families and Dachina and Nagen are meeting them for the first time. Over the last few days, it's been a mad scramble for the families to apply for passports for the children. I don't really have the words for how harrowing it's been for them to find accommodation, find transport, get leave from work. They're all working class families. And they've been faced with very unsympathetic employers too. Some of them only came for a day and had to go back, because otherwise they would lose their jobs. These children, the families have told them that their uncles have COVID, and that's why they're behind a screen, and that's why they can't touch them. And these are the kinds of stories that families have to invent, because how do you tell a child about a pre-planned state murder? The other thing that the families want everyone to know is that Nagen and Dachina still want to live. Even after all these years of the nightmare that they've lived through, there is so much life in them. They talk about what they want to do when they come out. They still talk about their futures. They talk about wanting to get married. They talk about wanting to fall in love. They talk about wanting to be social workers, to be activists. They talk about wanting to make the world a better place. They talk about the home-cooked food they want to eat, the temples they want to visit when they come out. This is what the families say has been the most painful, to listen to them so full of life, so full of hope and desire, these very basic human desires. Nagen will be in court tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. for a last-minute hearing. And the first thing that the family said when they heard about it was, does this mean we can touch him? Because when the prisoner comes to court, there's a small slit through which they can put their fingers and touch them. We're not sure if everyone will be allowed to. The rules keep changing all the time and getting more onerous. But this is what the families think about in Yen Fo.